Good day, fellow humans. I hope I got it on time this time. I'm gonna have to get some gum or something, guys. I don't know. Maybe like I ruined my tongue by smoking or something. I don't know, but my mouth is always dry now. I like have so many bottles of water. I just ordered more bottles of water because it's all I want to drink. I feel like I'm flushing. I got on here in the middle of my recordings, per usual, because I started getting like the message, like I went through the proper channels to speak to you, right? that was the message. I went to the proper channels to speak to you. But there's see if I can pull it up. See, I'm not tripping. I'm not crazy, Kevin. That's from Devil's Advocate, one of my favorite movies. But the whole time the wife is getting beat up by demons, jumped the whole time, right? And her husband's like, "You're just losing your shit, baby." But he comes home one day and she has like bruises and stuff all over her. And she's like, "I'm not crazy, Kevin. I'm not." Because he knows there's no way that she could have possibly did that to herself. Like he finally had some evidence. But that movie's a trip. So someone who is a forbidden love will come forward with an offer. And I went through the proper channels to speak to you. And I went to pull, right? And I'm like, what is the proper channels to talk to somebody? And I'm kind of messed up because I'm like, what? So this is, let me show you the deck first. Drop my card. Hold on. These are star astro codes. Let me come out of here now. Even though this person is ready to date you for your ops, they got God behind them. I don't even know. Guess who? See, it's just, and that's not even like a regular reader that I follow. It's like, y'all know how the movie Final Destination, that dude had to like fuck around with the clues or realize when stuff was coming together, like how one of his friends was about to get taken out next. That's what my life has turned into. But it's like messages for every different thing. And I have to be able to discern. It's like I'm being trained, which is like cool. But at the same time, it's like now I got PTSD anytime I hear "take me to the king" in my head, because I realize that means somebody is asking to go home. And I'm like, no, God, you ain't tell me at the beginning of this I was like the angel of suicide watch. So every time somebody about to be out of here and they need like a hump, like, and it's crazy now because I can't like go to sleep every time like I need to go save somebody to leave my body. Now I have to like trance out and it looks stupid. Let me go into the trance just to vacate my body for a moment to go do an angel mission. And I can't believe all of this shit is real. This is above my black pedigree. Like, this is not what I signed up for. I wanted to be in the background watching, like, yo, no, God had other plans, which is why this is throwing me off, y'all. Y'all just need to be included in this so y'all can start to understand your gifts as well. I told you the videos are gonna have all different content going forward, just whatever's on my mind. We're homies now. This is us having a chat. So if y'all are bored or whatever, y'all pop in here like Aisha got something to say. Yes, I do. And today it's you see this? This is the concern. Transits and climate is the first card. Remember, I told y'all I got a block on my stuff. So y'all gotta help me through this. We play it clue. Y'all are my homies right now. Y'all are my friends. Sometimes we're gonna do this together. And hopefully we'll come across a wonderful ending together and it'll just be beautiful. We bonded. We did a thing. Y'all help me solve stuff too, as much as I help y'all. So transits and climate. This one made me think of immediately like somebody in the womb, somebody like possibly being rebirthed or like they were in the process of rebirth. I went through the proper channels to talk to you. My first thought would be like, so spiritually, once I started learning all this stuff, My concern was Decepticons. Like Decepticons are people who are adept in learning other people's behaviors and stuff and then adapting themselves so they're more attractive. So Decepticons, right? So I prayed and I put up like energetic firewalls so like nobody fake could get next to me. That's the thing. So if somebody went through the proper channels, hold on, first off, that they would have caught that I had like blocks or energetic restraining orders around me. So when I saw somebody who was forbidden from talking to you is about to talk to you, I'm like, who got through my walls and how? Did this person pray? Because my feeling was they went and talked to God first. Somebody talked to God about me. That would make sense because the next card was the 11th house, right? Jesus rules the 11th house, community. And look at like it's hands, but it's like hands reaching up and it's clouds and stuff down here. But this goat was next. And then Juno, partnership. These tests, I default to precious when I can't think of something, when my mind is just not clicking. So how have y'all been with everything going on out here? I was watching the storm stuff and I was sort of jacked up, right? Because it went across my feed that there was a storm with the same exact name in 1958 that ended up being a category 4 too. And this whole week it was like stuff about HARP and uh portals, stargates. That's what I've been learning about wormholes, how somebody could open a hole and bring something from the past life into this life. So I'm like, hold on. And this is some Stranger Things shit. Did they pull an old tornado through just so it went through again on this trajectory? Could you imagine people being able to do that? Because this is beyond magic, but I guess magic is science. It's just they put a taboo on it to make sure that only a certain group of people learned it. Opening portals to allow old storms in. It's more negative energy. And I never eat on camera, but guys, I love truffle. I don't know why in this moment I just needed that. And these are my extra dark ones. I only eat dark ones. I needed this. I guess I'm hungry. I'm fasting too. Every time I go to eat, I don't want to eat. Like I lost my appetite. My heart is starting to feel better though. So there's that. Somehow this all went together. Enjoying me and my randomness. Like if we were homies, Sex in the City style, and we met for coffee, this is how random the conversation would be. Whether and who the fuck went and talked to the Most High about me. I'm gonna clutch my pearls again. I feel violated. You wouldn't talk to my daddy about me. Who is this? Let's see. Depending on the answer, I don't know. I might keep this one myself. This might be a video diary. It was supposed to be for y'all, but we'll see. And y'all see this either. Like if I share it, then you'll see it. But if not, it'll just be me talking to the imaginary audience. So, what's this goat? Immediately, every time I see the goat, I think about pain. And that nigga drive you crazy. And then, horrible. I had to refer to him by the N word. But for real, his behavior is varying. Anyway, because remember, the original meaning for the word, was it nigger, was an ignorant person. It wasn't a color on it. Even though I feel like they got a bunch of us from like Niger and they couldn't say that right. So they're like, it's a nigger. They didn't know Niger. So it's horrible, but maybe, I don't know. So who is this? Let me clear my shit. More importantly, why was this person forbidden from talking to me? That's what I need to know. Then I'll get into who it is. Rock with me. All right, this is my dark mirror deck. This tells you all like the hidden stuff, shadow work. Got it off Amazon. Because I was tired of all the oracle cards that have like just the positive answers. Not everything is positive, especially here. I needed some nitty gritty, and this one will hurt your feelings. I like that. Like I just need to get it done. Just tell me what the truth is so I can work on it. So why was this person blocked from talking to me? Is this the one I blocked from talking to me? That's the feeling I got. You see how hard I blocked somebody when it wasn't even my mind that I forgot that it was personal. Like there was somebody that was like a spirit. So is that who it is? No way. I don't believe it. No. Mm-mm. So the person was blocked from talking to me for flexing, for acting like they didn't want to talk to me. Oh no, this has to be spirit hubby with the human attachment because guys, it is amazing having these gifts, but also torturous because just because you can find the answer to anything doesn't mean you should know the answer at that time. You'll drive yourself crazy trying to figure out which is back to that. That's why I said it's that pan energy again. Drive you crazy, sending you mixed signals. If he was the king of anything or the god of anything, it should have been the god of mixed signals. Like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? It's the energy that I was just like, fuck this, blocked. But if you're telling me that somebody was forbidden from talking to me, there was a block, and they like went around my block by talking to like my guard, because I was like, dear God, do not let any Decepticons talk to me. That was one of my firewalls. Like, hey, if it's not in alignment, if this person can't even reach you to have a conversation to make sure that they can treat me right once they get me, I don't want them. They have to be able to talk to you too, so they can be like calmed when their ego is taken over. Because there's sometimes when I be like, my attitude gets really bad. But that's what God is for. You sink back into love and then you'll calm down. And everything that your ego is mad about is not as big as that. I was listening to Bigger this week by Beyonce, but she's just like, you know what? But there's something bigger than us, so I will suck it up because God is asking for something. I think we're all being led down that right now, actually. I just got, you're all being asked to sacrifice something personal for something greater. Let me know how that is showing up in your life right now. Because, like, I'm sacrificing everything, y'all. Which is, cool. Because, like, I don't know. Some weird part of me, like, the suffering is like, yes, molds me. Because I know there's a outcome at the end. So I'll rock with the suffering as long as there is a purpose at the end. I don't like the idea of, like, giving up a lot and then there's no, like, even a relationship, the idea of putting a lot of time and energy into something and then at the end to be like it's horrible. So I'm fasting, but I also went vegetarian and I gave up smoking. And I think I'm like 3.5 years in on the no sex thing. Guys, this is TMI, whatever. We here, y'all. I did not know girls could get blue balls. And then I didn't, let me explain this. I'm sitting here and I'm feeling uncomfortable, if you know what I mean. And I'm like, maybe it's because I'm sitting in this chair too long. I don't know what's going on. And so myself says to myself, you have blue balls. And I was like, but I don't have balls. So how would I have blue balls? So I went to go type in blue balls. And my mom's like, but labia. And so I wrote it in there, but like blue balls, but make it labia. It's my search. And it said blue vulva, pink pelvis. It's the female equivalent to having blue balls. I never knew this because I've never had this problem, but I'm just like, what's wrong, sis? She's depressed. So sacrifice is like a theme here. Like now I'm at the point in this. Like at first there was like self stuff in there to like segue the process until it came to this year where I was told to like cut that too. And now I'm just supposed to be using my sexual energy for creativity and stuff. Like there's no actual sexual outlet here. So I am about up to here with the level of sacrifice that I have to make. Like I don't think there's anything else uh I could do, but we're all supposed to be feeling backed in this corner because in order to ascend, you can't bring any of that weight with you. Like you have to heal. So becoming as close as you can to childlike purity is how you get there. Earlier this week, I'm gonna call her Respucia. Like when I get mad, like my my uncontrolled bad attitude self. Like when I watched that movie, I was like, damn, what a reflection. Because when I'm in a bad mood, it's rough, right? I was asking God why about something, just to understand, because that's my relationship with God. Now you can ask whatever you want to. It's like a parent that cares. They want you to understand things. We've been taught based upon the Saturn model of that, which is not the actual father. That's the shadow of the father, right? I hear 211 open his mouth next to me. And he says, you're not supposed to ask God why. Oh, that was the wrong thing for him to say. I said, I don't know what God that is that you've been talking to, sweetheart. But my God said, I can ask whatever I want to. He was like, not that you can't like talk to God, but you don't ask God why. You just accept it. No, that's what they told y'all in that book. And in them churches that read that book, they told y'all to say that. In my personal relationship with God, he wants you to ask questions, or they, or whatever your personal thing is, wants you to ask questions to get to know them so that you build trust in the energy. When you ask a question, guess what? You get an answer. When you ask a why, just for you being bold enough to ask why, you get an answer. Like he wants you to build a relationship. Think about if you have children, your relationship with your child. Don't you want your child to come to you about anything? Or the same within the same night. I guess maybe he was just meant to try me that day. Maybe I was just in the mood. But oh, there's this thing he does. I don't know what you is this like religious abuse? I don't know. But when I'm like ready to square up, and you know, I'm not a fighter or anything, just like because he pushed me, he just be messing with me. Uh he'll say, pray about it. This conversation was like, bruh, it's been a million years. You are who you are. That's how closed you are. You so we're gonna split. Feel free to reapply afterwards if something in you opens up. I mean, you've made great progress in this relationship, but it has reached a peak, and I know what I want and what I deserve going forward. And if that's not you, that's okay too, that I am saying this to you. Shorty said, aren't you supposed to pray for God to fix me? That was the general idea of what he said. That's not the exact terminology because that's just wrong. But that's pretty much what he said. Well, pray for God to work on me. I'm like, what? And he's like, pray on her sex life. Like all this stuff. And I thought, and I stopped for a minute. I stopped getting mad. I had to get out my feelings and say, you know what? I never thought of all these things about praying on my sex life or even talking to God about my sex life because that's like freaking weird, right? But I'm like, no, you're supposed to talk to God about everything. I mean, I wish my parents had been available in the beginning for me to have those open conversations with about that, but it's really uncomfortable. It's taboo. You can't. Now, my kids are able to come to me with stuff. Just I'm their mom. I'm wild. They know that they can ask me about anything. And that's a blessing because that's really what I wanted for them. But I was not carrying that up there. It felt inappropriate. Like prayers are for when you need help and when you want to say thank you. So he actually helped me break another wall. Like if I'm going to walk it like I talk, and I need to walk it the whole way. So in him talking about his blockages, I had to meet my own blockages. Where am I not allowing God within my life, within my psyche, because he needs to be through everything if I'm going to be on the right page. So I don't think them prayers or the answers to them prayers is going to go in his favor. But I wanted to pass that on to you guys. You can talk about anything and get a response. Like for real, even on the Rasputia stuff. Like, what is it about me that like creates that character, that other piece? Because everything is reflected back to you. You'll see other versions of what you need to be focusing on in movies, the music you're listening to, the people you come across and stuff. So when you look at every person and think you come across as an opportunity to learn, when you say, hey, what is this trying to teach me? It's brutal, but you start to feel better as you understand and recognize yourself and say, hey, what is this trait? I don't like that so much. You can decide, like, is this something that's just a part of me, or is this a hurt part of me that needs to be loved upon? Right? So I threw that up there to God too. I was like, God, look at all of this and the amount of time and effort that I've been in here. In my old prayers, I didn't say it like that. I asked for the ability to forgive in other cases. So every time I was just sucking it up. And anytime there was an issue, it'd be like, did you pray about letting me go? Like, yeah, you know what he gonna tell me if I go to God about this. But that was holding me back in a situation where I was not happy. Since I've actually started talking to God, God is like, your happiness matters too. I never asked you to sacrifice yourself for nobody, girl. Somebody taught you that. So here we are, and I'm like super protective of me. Who got through my wall? Because I am currently in a situation and I am weeks out from filing, and I'm so excited, right? Where this person can't even get through my walls in this household. So who figured out the key? There is nothing in this description of the wounded child, visionary, student, martyr, that reminds me of anybody I actually know. Not at all. There is something else brewing in the background here, which is interesting that I can interpret. So somebody just been watching me? I guess I do make these videos, but that's wild, right? Oh, now that one got by me. I have been watching stalker stuff lately, but I thought I was just on my detective stuff. Like, why are they like this? Trying to understand what makes somebody stalk someone. Now, in every case in there was never a case from the shows I've seen where it was just somebody stalking somebody they like didn't know or didn't have some connection to. It wasn't just like lurking, but I'm pretty sure that might happen somewhere. But that has to likely do with some childhood wound or some reminder of somebody that they were attached to that they can't let go with, that sort of thing. In all the videos that I saw, it was somebody who had a relationship and then that person left them. And then afterwards, that person was just like, no. And so they be in the bushes. They be all over the place. Like I'm talking like real stalkers. Even the movies I was watching, except for the Accidental Family movie. I made a post yesterday with the thumbnail from this movie, this little cheesy Hallmark type movie that came by me that was a recommendation on YouTube. And when I saw it, I was like, I'm not watching this. I don't even watch Lifetime anymore. And that used to be my favorite thing. I'm into ID channel and stuff now, right? But when I saw that one, something was like, just freaking watch the movie, Aisha. Like, why don't I watch cornball movies? Like I used to watch Christmas movies and all that stuff. Like I'm uncomfortable with these corny feelings of glee. When did this happen? When I started watching the ID channel and learning about magic and stuff, I lost a bit of my joy. So maybe I need to replenish my cup in regards to joyful human emotions. Like I'm at the acceptance level. I'm all right all the time. So I don't drop down in the board or nothing because I know that's where the stuff comes in. That's when you start hearing all the bad things you should do when you get bored. Never get bored. Never go Eric Benet. Never let yourself drop into a space where you start like, because you start thinking about things you ain't got no business thinking about, the things that have been planted in your subconscious that are not necessarily helpful. At acceptance, you just riding the wave out and seeing where things go, right? So I went and watched the Accidental family movie. There was like I think it was a YouTube, it wasn't even YouTube original, just somebody made it and they thought like they knew their movie was going to be on YouTube and that was just it. But it was amazing. No budget and all. The budget didn't matter because the storyline was great. I ended up crying like 3 times and it wasn't even on purpose. Like I couldn't control it. Like it was so like emotional and beautiful. And it made me like understand that miracles, it was a movie about angel. Now I didn't understand that, but the angel was like pulling stuff together even when the people that were involved couldn't see. And it was just the theme was miracles. And at the end of it, I was like, maybe I will watch Christmas movies this year. Maybe I do need to watch some more stuff about like angels and miracles so I can feed the energy of faith and stuff because I feel it and I know it's real all the time, but I'm in the trenches of helping a lot of people through the darkness so that like nobody who's supposed to be a light gets left behind. You dig? Uh, maybe that's part of the sacrifice too. I can't just flutter out of here and leave the people that probably were assigned to me before I got here in the dark, which is why I'm doing that 12-week uprising thing. Now I already have all my stuff written down and I'm really excited because I felt like there was something I needed to do, something I needed to leave behind on this YouTube that was free. And I just got like a tingling through my crown. So like, this is probably like an important part of my future or the storyline for the future. Just this 12-week free course on here. And this is how I do all my classes actually. They go in like weekly things and you're supposed to achieve something every week. And then by the end, you're in a new vibrational state, which is the thing that I've learned how to do for myself. Like just give what you already have to give. There's nothing more to it. You just tighten up that skill. And that's exactly what I did. I found a way or a format to put it in so I can break it down. And for 12 weeks, we're going to hang out together like this, doing the uprising thing and lift out together. So even after I have lifted into a new vibration, I'm no longer talking about the Illuminati. I'm not watching the ID channel because I'm out there doing stuff and enjoying my life, right? That playlist, that course will always be there for anybody who comes to this page because they were led to that vibration. My videos will always hit their timeless when they need to hit. So it feels like I'm leaving like a drop in the timeline for everybody that comes back so I don't have to feel guilty anymore about not looking, because I keep getting that message. You have to stop looking back. It's that pillar of salt. As I'm pulling you forward, don't look to the sides, don't look back, follow the yellow brick road. Ease on down, right? So I started this because somebody forbidden from talking to me wants to talk to me. I don't know that energy that was popping up. Not that description. How about that? I don't know that description for that person. But student was in there, which is what let me know that it was somebody who was watching. And was smart enough to realize that they could bypass any block I had by going to God with their intentions. Because you can only go to God with an open or a true heart, right? But for me to pick up on that message here and the one like, I'm just cleaning up when I got that message, like I went around you, which is wild. So I'm about to pull from this African goddess rising, guys. And then I'm gonna get back to my list. But I needed a moment, like a break, to talk to y'all. Cause like what messages are y'all getting? Have y'all seen them play out? Like I just wanna have a regular person moment, not being a teacher, me one-on-one with y'all like this, like, oh my goodness, I'm going through this with y'all. I'm just being taught really quick by my oversoul to understand it, but it still takes a while to integrate it. Like, oh my gosh, this is real. This is really happening to me. I have no choice but to accept it, and it's glorious. But it also means that there is some not glorious stuff that is really going on too. And that's been especially heavy this week. A lot of people don't want to be here, guys. One of my biggest concerns now is that I'm going to wake up every day next year and have to hear "Take Me to the King." Like, really? Y'all telling me at nighttime, when I go to sleep, and this is putting me in my feelings, so it probably means it's true. When you get emotional in your feelings and when you get goosebumps, that's the vibration of the truth. You're telling me that when I go to sleep at night, I leave my body and I divide myself into multiple beings and I go help people, whatever they need help with. Although I have particular beings that I'm like, I'm their guardian angel. I'm there for them on that. And I think I'm aware of those in my waking life. But for anybody who feels like they're at the very bottom, anybody who's like, they want to be taken to the king, I'm walking them out. So that definitely means I have to rise out of this vibration because there's only so much of escorting the dead you can do without taking on a little bit of that. When you are a death doula, that's what you call it, somebody who, like you, when you're a birth doula, you help somebody bring life into the world. When you're a death doula, you take her out. I've discovered that there are lots of different angelic duties one can have, and I can see it in the chart now. Let's share asteroid angel in the area it's in, and maybe I'll do a, let me write that down so everybody can understand what sort of angel they are. Just maybe I'll do a video on that since I'm like using all my sex energy for creation. My paper crazy now. So the death doula thing, you hold space for that person as they're leaving. That means in this case, you take a little bit of their pain. Neither one of you feel it at that time, but it's like you're holding it up in the air so they can pass peacefully and without fear. But after they're gone, you still have held all that fear and sadness and all those feelings that person was having as they were labored out of their body into your aura. So you gotta like find ways to release that or transmute, get it out you. Like that's why it's really important that you have a partner of some sort that gets it, that can help you. Whatever your angelic gift, whatever your sacrifice, there's somebody who balances out that sacrifice being worth it. Like for some people, it's your kids. In this case, I really feel like I'm missing Ed. I am missing the person who is supposed to have like the balancing gift with this, so that neither one of us get tired with whatever it is we're doing. Like, where's Ed? Where's Massimo? But that's the dude from 365. That's a whole different thing. I love that movie. That's a problem. I have to meditate on that. So, what message should I be delivering today before I close out for y'all kicking it with me? What is the message for the collective? Harvest, grounding. Well, that's beautiful. So, what I'm going to notice here first and foremost, this is that uprising energy, right? But you see the bright colors? Is that like the sun rising? Because it looks like this one comes before this one. Grounding, harvest. Live out loud was the last one. The tides are changing, turning is the energy I'm feeling. Because that little bit of fog I was feeling when we were just talking about the underworld stuff, it just lifted, which is wild that I can feel the difference. Like when I talk about death and stuff, the clarity is like it's foggy, like I'm in the ethers. This was very much grounding. It felt in the body. So you're going to start seeing stuff in the physical. We're all going to start seeing stuff in the physical. So if you've been asked to sacrifice something, because that was something I mentioned in the beginning of this, you're sacrificing now to reap later for your stuff to ground into the physical, for what you've been thinking to become what you're living. That's wonderful. That's beautiful. That's all we can ask for right now. If I'm walking down the yellow brick road and I'm not allowed to look left and right, at least let me be skipping down the yellow brick road. Let me be lit while I'm going down here. Can I go with a squad? We sing together? Keep us focused so we don't get pulled off to the land of poppies, because it's so easy to get distracted. And that's the distraction by the spirit of, fuck it, all this sucks. Let me just go do whatever because you don't want to go there. So thanks, guys. I don't even know how long this is. This is just a check-in. Have a good day, guys.